Hey Matt, what's going on? I came here to watch some genetic engineering. Some 1980s style lasers being deployed upon telomeres and changing the fabric of our existence. What's going on with this trait screen that's on the species tab when we're starting the game? Well, good viewer, that was a good question. Genetic engineering is a mid to late game mechanic within Stellaris that is not very well documented in my personal opinion. However, it is still very interesting because it changes a lot of the way you can play your species. And this impacts the start of the game very, very much. And in this particular case, I'm referring to the trait points that you can spend at the start of the game and the amount of traits that you can pick. Now, obviously you have your single ones that you can pick, like natural physicist, etc., or intelligent, and you're out of trait points, right? So let's, for this particular case, pick slow breeders. All of a sudden we have more trait points, which means that we can pick intelligent and say talented. Actually, nah, let's quick learners in this one. There we go. Quick learners, intelligent, slow breeders. Which means that we now spend 3 points. We've got 1 malice, which is a -1. We still have 1 trait left, so we can play around with this sort of thing. See if you can grab another malice on there, say your solitary or repugnant or something along those lines. And that is all very, very cool. But at the start of the game, you're just like, why would I ever pick these sort of things? I don't have enough points, or I don't have enough traits. Why should I ever pick one of these, even though I can, get better ones later on, especially when it's stuff like, let's say, Venerable, which increases our leader lifespan by 120 years? Well, that was a good question. Malices can be removed from your species during gameplay. And in this case, slow breeders can easily be removed from your species as you play through certain technology options that you unlock in the mid to the late game. Let's go take a look at a little empire that I set up. I've played for a couple hundred years, and let's remove these. Let's just be intelligent and quick learners, maybe a little bit extra. So here we are on our galaxy map right here. Our galaxy is pretty big. It's a standard 2-armed galaxy, nothing too crazy. Just your standard spiral. I've been playing this for a couple hundred years. We've been spreading out. It's all going fine. And more importantly, we are currently in about the mid-game, slightly leaning towards the late game of Stellaris. Now, as you can see on our Society tab, we've had a couple of technologies already being run. We're currently at technologies that cost up to 40,000, some even 50,000. Research points. However, we've also unlocked genetic engineering. Now, this empire itself is not really important to the genetic engineering process. What is important is the amount of pops that we have. So let's go to our species tab over here. Let's select Terran, which is the very uncreative name I came up with to play this little empire over here. And as you can see on the Terran screen right here, on the species tab, it's part of the context list. You can hotkey it with 3. You can see what our traits are. So as you can see from the start of the game, we have intelligent, we're quick learners, we are continental preference species. As you can see, we've unlocked a whole bunch of stuff which increases our preferences on some other worlds. However, slow breeders is still here. That -15 growth time can be impacted now, of course, when your species is this big already. The growth time doesn't really become a problem anymore. However, we still want it removed. So let's go to the modify screen. And as you can see here, the modify screen shows all of our worlds, all of our pops spread out over the galaxy. Let's select all of them. So you can see there's 500 pops of them. If we want to do any sort of genetic engineering at this point, it will cost us 60,000 of our society research, which is fine. At this point in the game, it takes about 100 months. That's perfectly fine. It just means you have 100 months of no society engineering. So, as you can see here, we have our Malice, Slow Breeder. All the positives are grayed out in this case, which, that's fine. Why would we want to remove any positives from our species, right? We can also change our planetary preferences. This costs absolutely nothing. We can just leave that for now. But if you ever want to spread over towards different stars, different planets with our species, that is all perfectly fine. So let's click on Slow Breeders. This is now removed. This will cost us 1 trait point. We used to have 2. We now have 1 left. Fair enough. So if we enact this right now, it would cost us 45,000 of our society points, and we would hit modify, correct? Well, considering we have 1 point left, let's add a bonus to that as well. Considering we're currently a little bit low on both physics research and society research, our engineering is out of the wazoo, is not really a problem. But let's add some natural physicists toward this. So let's improve our species, that they're smarter, better, stronger. Well, not so much stronger, because that would involve selecting the strong trait, which is currently not the case. But fair enough. That's not really the case here. So we've now selected all of this. We have 0 trait points left, and we can hit modify. As soon as this happened, our situation log will update, and we can enact.
Situation log updated.
And there we go. So let's go to modify the Terran species. As you can see, if we want to move forward with this modification, we need to do it within the next 90 days. It will take 101 months. That is a significant amount of time. That is more. Yeah, that's quite a couple of years. And all we have to do now is hit research. But more importantly, any current society research will be put on hold for the duration of this. I want to stress this enough. You will not be doing society research during this period. But for the sake of this tutorial, let's move ahead. We're currently researching the modification of the Terran species, which will become better by the end of this. And that's how you remove those negative traits and how you can play around with those traits at the start of the game. They're not forever. You can remove them in the mid-game, and they're all part of your society research tree right here. Now, another question people would have is, say, Matt, say I have a subservient species, right? So let's say I've got another species on another planet somewhere that is subservient to me. Let's say these Jibaru guys. Look, can we change them as well? Yeah, absolutely, we can change those guys as well. Let's go and take a look at them in our list. There they are. They're fungoid. There are 79 pops of them. They are also slow breeders. They're communal, and they are enduring, which means they have a longer lifespan. Let's go take a look at it. Now, a lot of people on social media are wondering, can we add negative traits to a species? Can we make a species super strong but really dumb so they become manual labor for our empire across the stars? So we have a strong labor force or strong warriors that are just really, really dumb. Sadly enough, at this moment in time, it doesn't look like that is the case. We can remove all negatives from a species, but we cannot add any negatives. So, for instance, we cannot, at this moment in time, remove any positives and change them out with negatives. We can change their planetary preference. We can make life extremely uncomfortable for them by putting them on an arid preference. That will change their entire species completely. In this case, they prefer an ocean. Fair enough. They have a minimal habitability for tundra. Considering they are mostly on ocean worlds, if we would change them to a tundra planet, they would not like ocean worlds very much. So that's how we can make things very difficult for other species in our game. I hope you enjoyed this little tutorial on genetic engineering. Sadly enough, no lasers on telomeres, but the man can dream, right? The man can dream indeed. Hope you enjoyed this, and be sure to check out some of the more content as it comes out over the next few days. This has been Matt. I'm out.